Who went first? She did. Well, obviously, as a commissioner, the things that I would do is I would be voting on the policies that come in front of the city. I would be voting on the running, or not running, if you will, because that's the mayor's prerogative. But I would be voting on the budget. Those are the things that I would do. As a citizen, I can certainly can speak out and have numerous times at the City Commission. As to your question regarding what I would continue to do, I have every intention to be able to continue to do my volunteering, to support the nonprofits I currently support. I have the ability to provide 100% of my time to this, and so I think I can carve out enough time to continue to do some of my volunteer activities as well.
Well, the interesting thing is that although I'm not retired, I have been able to continually work very hard for the community and my business. We are just, in our DNA, our family, we are very hard workers. Anybody that knows us has known that for 35 years, almost 7 days a week, for 35 years. We have worked very hard to make sure that our business runs properly, even through a very difficult time, and that our family runs properly, because our business is kind of an extension of our family. But during this time, I've also been incredibly active in the community. I helped start with a very great group of very young people, the South End Neighborhood Association, about 8 or 9 years ago. I'm really, really proud of this association. They have operated in the sunshine and full of respect since the very first day, and I was the second president of the association. So I have always had my sleeves rolled up. I have been talking to the owner of Palm Coast Plaza for 15 years. I have been talking to the owners I've been talking to the owners of Palm Coast Plaza for 10 years, the Aqua Motel for 15. I have brought to the city the idea of purchasing the property at 8111 because the South End used to be the economic driver of this city. And we have been neglected for a long time in the South End. I know that many areas of the city have been neglected, but we were the tax base that drove the city, and because of the fact that we seem to be doing okay, we didn't get our tires changed, we didn't get our oil checked, we didn't get a lot of things done. So now it's time, as a commissioner and a neighborhood activist, that I get to be able to actually sit at the table and say, okay, Palm Coast Plaza, we've been talking for a long time. Now I'm a commissioner. Now they answer the phone a lot differently. Now they're saying, okay, let's level Palm Coast Plaza. The city's serious now. We're going to go on the RFP with the 8111 property, and we're going to create an economic driver for the South End, which affects every part of this city. Because let's not forget, this city is just nothing more than a series of neighborhoods. We are a series of vibrant neighborhoods that just happens to have a highway going through it. The highway is going to be the way to our future. I understand it. I have been doing it for a long time. I haven't stopped doing it as a commissioner. I'm just much more effective as a commissioner.
Question. There has been a series of discrimination lawsuits in the city that's been going on for 3 mayors since Dave's, Frankel, and now Muyo. One of those I participated in. I had an all-white jury when the 4th ECA sustained that I won. And the city spent probably 5 times the amount of money that the award was. We had a white police officer who beat up a guy on CNN, and the city just brought him back and paid him $325,000 plus. What will you do to settle my lawsuit, Rick Curtis' lawsuit, Giles' lawsuit, and the other discrimination lawsuit if you are elected? It's costing the city a lot of money and you're losing.
Can I what I'd like to tell everybody is that as a sitting commissioner, this is something I can't have a conversation about. Now, if Mr. Weiss would like to have a conversation about it, that's different, but I cannot.
All right, we're going to pass on that question. What? Well, they can it's their choice. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir, Mr. Drake.
I wanted to lift this discussion out of a personal level. Okay. And I wanted to bring it back because I think the purpose of one question I asked was really missed completely. I wonder, and I ask you to think about this, if the ability to hire your accountants, your attorneys, or any kind of assistance, do you undermine the original purpose of the single strong mayor? And is that being done slowly but surely with many of the decisions that are currently being made? I just asked you to think of it.
Janet, do you have a comment?
Well, I'm not really sure if I understand that question. I don't think we're undermining the mayor. I don't think this is a decision that she would like to make without consultants either. So I'm not quite sure what the question is.
It's undermining the idea of a strong mayor charter. You're undermining the charter, really. That's what you're doing.
No,
The people don't matter. It's the idea.
I think what Mr. Drayton is asking, we have a charter that we voted on for a very strong independent mayor, and if the commissioners independently hire consultants and their own attorneys and so forth, you become in competition with the original concept of a strong mayor, and you have two competing bodies.
The mayor's position is to make, we're policymakers. The mayor's position is to take the information that she gets and from her staff and use that information to make decisions that she brings back to us.
That's your perception.
No, that's the charter. That is what the charter says. So that we, as the seated commission, take that information and decide what to do with it. If we don't think we're getting good information, would you prefer, as taxpayers, that we make decisions on bad information? I don't think so. And I don't think that I could sleep at night if I believed that I wasn't really learning everything that I could about each and every subject. I take this very seriously. This is not just your money. This is my money. This is our city. You know, I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this city for 35 years. And I'd like my kids to come back here and have their children. So I am building a city for the future. And I don't think that I would make a decision ever, no matter how large or small, without getting qualified consultants or qualified information, or I wouldn't go to court without a lawyer.
If you felt differently, then you shouldn't be a commissioner.
You don't have, okay. Thank you, Shanon.
Okay.
Greg?
Let me just briefly say what about this. I think, you know, I view this in somewhat in the same, we view this in the same way, which is that it's the commission's role to do policy and to create the policy and to pass the budget for the city. It's the mayor's job and her staff to implement that and get the job done and to run the city. Or he or she, whoever's the mayor at the time, is responsible for the day-to-day running of this city. I think there could be a potential encroachment, but I think if you use, you know, at times, you know, that you do need an additional legal opinion because maybe you don't have the expertise in-house. or you might not have the expertise for a particular project and you're going to go outside and get it. I would much rather see the commission work in a collaborative way and to deliver the best possible solution. What I get concerned with sometimes is that we gets involved in things that are not policy. I don't like. I could, quite frankly, the color of the mulch is not something I think the commission needs to be talking about. I think they need to create the policy that will deliver the right answer in the same solution time and time and time again, so that that's what gets implemented. I mean, policy making and delivering the policies that's hard work, and my hat goes off to everybody who does it. That's hard. It's hard to create policies where you're going to get the same result. It's much easier to just tell somebody how to do something. That's easy. But it's hard to create the policy so that that person will do the same thing, and the next person will do it, and the next person will do it, because that's the policy that you created. So I think that's really what I want to focus on, is on that policy and delivering so that when it goes to implementation, we'll get the same great solution every time.
This has been a great debate. Let me just ask, do you all have to leave, or you can take a few questions?
What time do we have to be there?
Any more quick questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about the disability. Mr. Weiss had said that he supports helping the disabled individuals to find jobs. But our community lacks in the area of the disabled after high school sitting home, because there's not much out there. No, there's actually nothing out there to do, because I have a nonprofit for the disabled. What would you think about, or how would you go about helping them?
Yeah, she's asking me about what I would do to help the disabled in the city.
Other than just jobs.
Other than just jobs?
Yeah, because
well, let me tell you.
Them to get jobs, but there's more that cannot get a job because they are.
Okay, so here's. Okay, let me tell you about what we can do first to help them with jobs, and then let me tell you what I'm working on for them that can't get jobs. In the case of people who are able and are employable, we have a lot of great employers that participate in hiring the disabled here in South Florida, companies like Publix and others, and that just comes to mind, and I don't mean to leave those others out. But we have some great companies here that are willing to hire the disabled. What I don't see government providing any leadership. There's plenty of companies that provide leadership, but government doesn't. And there's a program in Seattle, Washington. It's called job shaving. And what they did is they went and looked at what people were doing on their jobs. And there's things where you have high-paid people doing things that are low-skilled. And they were able to carve off that part of people's jobs and to create new jobs for other people that had disabilities but could perform those jobs. And they were able to hire 60 disabled people in the city of Seattle just by doing that. And I would like to see West Palm Beach do something very similar and help hire those folks. Now, for the people who can't get jobs, I'm actually working on a program to put together a cooperative. And it would be owned by the disabled, and I work with developmentally disabled people. It would be owned by them. It would allow them, and I work with folks that create lots of great things, and they're able to sell them. And we take them to the green markets, and we market their products. And we need a mechanism, though, to be able to bring that revenue and that income back to them. So it's a combination of training for them, so they participate in training and learning how to do what they're able to do. We do some really basic things for some of our people. I went out and through a micro enterprise, we were able to raise money and
all can